We're back. And we were just talking about how awesome Mark's beard is.
Goatee.
Goatee, yes, sorry. We just covered that. Anyway, and we before that we had been talking about how dangerous and impregnable Fort James is, and how we probably shouldn't try to apprehend or otherwise deal with Braden inside the fort, because we probably can't even get in. Well, Marin can probably get in, but...
You can make things as difficult for yourselves as you like.
Excellent. Sounds like a plan.
Let's get all the army of all this country and march in there.
That sounds like a great plan. What could ever go wrong?
But
Like Vietnam.
Yeah. Quagmire. The fort is separate from the place that Rixlax's contact was saying that we should never go. Correct?
Yes.
Okay.
The field with two trees is a field with two trees. So that's somewhere out in the open, but the field of two trees was supposed to be dangerous. So it's a bit of a choice.
So we could do both. Like, Field of Two Trees is closer, correct?
Yeah, I imagine.
What's everybody else thinking?
Make sure you also calculate the fact that the information is not perfect. It was from all sorts of people, and the fact that they're going through this field doesn't mean that this is all of it.
Well, it seems like that's a good landmark that we know they're going to pass through, and that we definitely do not want to attack them at the fort. So I guess another option would be to try to find a map and pick another place in between this field of two trees and the fort to try to lay our ambush if the field of two trees is too dangerous. But it sounds like a bunch of superstitious nonsense to Appaloosa. So
I think we should just do a two-phase plan. First phase is you guys try to get him before he ever arrives there. If you don't manage to do that, I will infiltrate them and try to do my best from there.
All right.
I mean,
So,
one plan doesn't mean we can't have the other.
yeah.
Sure, and I mean, splitting up you guys sounds like a great idea.
What could go wrong?
Could possibly go wrong if you start running around with like one or two people.
no, I'm sure it's 100% fine. Except, no, actually, we should stick together.
Well, what we could do is investigate two trees together, although Marin may want to meet us slightly outside of town so that we don't give stuff away. And then we'll figure out what the situation looks like from there. Because sounds like we will at least need to take a look at the place to figure out whether we can make contact there, or where between there and the fort looks like a good place.
Even if we find the transport convoy there on this field, what's the plan then? Do we just attack them, or because I don't think that's a very good idea.
Yeah, going guns blazing.
Tell them, okay, this guy is ours now, or what do we do? Because if we know what we're doing, we can set up this or that and make it easier.
I feel like we need to scout them out and find out what we're gonna do. Like, if we can separate him and and just be like snatch, or if we can approach them while they're making camp and like be like, oh, we're just some poor travelers, can we share your fire? You know,
And then
don't let Appaloosa do that one. Or we can just be like, hey, you have to stop what you're doing because we are the wardens, and then we're probably gonna die. So I'm not in favor of that particular plan either.
And what precisely did Cobalt City want? Did they want us to apprehend him or just make...
the situation.
Okay.
So you're welcome to kill the guy, you're welcome to bring him over to your side, or just make sure he's not a problem anymore.
I mean, if we somehow get more information, we might, merge the two plans and infiltrate the convoy itself. But I think that will take a lot of time. And do we have some sort of an ETA on when shit's happening?
So you know that they arrive in the fort somewhere before the 15th. But the date wasn't very precise. Like, they could totally arrive like 3 days earlier. Like, she could have calculated in time for the Brandon to rest from his journeys before Marin would come to offer his or her services.
Somewhere before the 15th, and today is?
Let's say that's a week from now.
And how long would it take us to get there?
So the field with 2 trees is a day's ride. The fort is 2 days.
Okay. Well, I don't believe in any of this superstitious nonsense that field of 2 trees is any kind of problem. And if anything, what you're telling me of her story, I mean, did it sound to you like that was what Brandon's power could do? You think it's possible that it was him himself that did it? I don't know. But I think that it's as good a place as anything to set up camp in an attempt to reach, beat them to the fort. Maybe we find a place that's got a view on this field and set up our camp there.
Sounds about right. Anyway, if this place is a problem for others, it's something we should probably suss out anyway.
If we want to find out if that's superstition, we can just ask someone if there's transport to the field of 2 trees anytime soon, and see their reaction. I mean, someone can be like, "Oh, are you really going there? This place is haunted, blah blah blah." Or if they're like, "Sure, yeah, tomorrow." No, I'll go to some sort of to an innkeeper, that I bribed better than the others. And given that he wasn't the one that gave me the information about the 2 trees.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll ask if if anytime soon I can find a way to get to the field of 2 trees.
He looks you up and down and says, I know there's some folk going over there in a couple of weeks on the festival of the moon.
2 weeks? Why? I mean, it's pretty close by in 2 weeks. What?
Because that is the festival of the moon.
And what does happen then?
He looks at you surprised. Says, excuse me, I thought you were folk. I assumed you knew.
Well, lately I've been I've lost some of my Not least, but I've lost most of my folk ties, so I'm not very in the whole cultural. I don't know the culture that well.
Nice save.
That the Festival of the Moon is an old ritual by the folk, and he still keeps looking at it like that. You don't know that. I mean, you really folk? You sure you should be going there? And he explains that the Festival of the Moon is an ancient ritual used to beg the favor of the gods.
Then I'm assuming something bad would happen to me if I don't want to go there.
He shrugs. He says, "Well, I'm not personally into that kind of stuff, and mine is running fine."
I'm not sure I understand that.
And he said, "I'm not into that kind of stuff, so my inn is still running fine." So he says, like, "Hey, I didn't go there, and I'm fine too."
No, because he said, your folk, are you sure you want to go there?
No. He said,
You don't know about it,
you're
are you?
good,
Yeah.
right? And then, if you want to figure out what he meant specifically, you can roll.
Yeah, sure. I thought it was just me not understanding you, but yeah, I do.
He was a bit fake. Yeah, you're old.
Empathy. I don't think I have any.
I don't think so. You already used your private advantages.
Fuck off. I guess I won't find out if.
I guess you won't find out.
I would just be puzzled by this weird trader. I mean, I could give him a hand. His inn is running good because of people like me who offer him bribes, but okay.
Okay. Sure. So yeah, it's a bit of an awkward conversation, and he misunderstands you, and you misunderstand him, and it's just like, okay, I've got to go back to surfing beer now.
But yeah, well, at least we know something. Apparently, people don't usually go there just like this. I mean, I totally jumped out of the secret spot.
So-
without thinking,
So the old lady you talked to, she was she folk or she
well, she looked human.
she's human? All right. So sounds like this place isn't necessarily so dangerous. It's just that it's a special place for the folk.
I suppose. Maybe there is something, if they're asking for favors of the gods and such, maybe something does happen there, but it may very well be just folk using their powers to do stuff. And humans getting creeped out.
All right. Well, we do have a few days before we need to head out. Anybody have anything they need to take care of first?
I'm sure we do.
I think there was a certain merchant that I had to
Entertaining.
satisfy before I leave.
Very nice way of saying. Yes, there was the merchant Eliza Crockett.
Yes. I hope she has just run away in this.
Let's see if she's left. I mean, you have been gone for 2 weeks.
I mean, I
might
probably left some clue by it that my friend was kidnapped and I tried to rescue him heroic.
Well, would you really though? If it was about Rexlax, wouldn't you just have left just woof, like crazy? Okay, I'm
It
gonna roll the
depends.
100 below 50. She's still here. She's not here.
Okay, it's
She
Batman.
left. She left.
That's a darn shame.
About how broken her heart is that you just left her like that.
Mm-hmm.
And she clearly seems to have not found you the very sweet note that you left for her.
Alright. Well, there go my resources.
Damn it.
And I was so keen on show it to Rixlex and how good I was and how much money I got. And
To show me your bling.
oh well. Then I don't think I have anything special to do.
Aww.
Well, we should think about what we want to do when we go there. I mean, I'm sure Appaloosa can, set up some. I don't know. If
Yeah,
this
I could,
guy
like-
has destructive powers, she might, want to set up some sort of protection wall thing or whatever.
I don't know if I could set up like a protection wall that would
Not
be
wall, but
like
something.
Like a hide.
Something
yeah,
like
like that I could definitely set up something like that. And then I was also thinking I could set up like some kind of like a drone or something that could make like a clockwork firefly or dragonfly or something that could fly around and give us an early warning that the caravan is on the move, like something along those lines as well.
Sure, go ahead.
Cool. So yeah, I guess are we just gonna jump to getting out there?
Sure. You can roll to see how well you prepared your mechanical things, and you can just jump to the location. It sounds good.
Okay, cool. Then I'm gonna first roll for I'll remember my +2 this time. I'm making a like a blind for us to hide behind.
Okay.
We've got view of the thing, field of 2 trees, but basically to block us from sight while we're watching it. That was pretty good.
Yeah.
And
Sweet.
then some small flying clockwork that have like where they can spot they're trained on the ground, and if they detect someone moving in a straight line,
Okay.
then they'll come back and
So
let
that's going
me
to be
know.
a bit harder to do, but you can certainly attempt it.
I would love to, and I've got all this fate points, and all of my traits have to do with me making weird shit on this. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think that would be enough, but I think a 6 would do it.
All right, well, I'm a starry-eyed tinker, so I believe I can make
Definitely.
this.
You can definitely.
Just gotta
You
believe.
have a lot of experience tinkering.
Okay, sweet. I will take it. I spent my fate.
Okay.
And like, I guess like we've set up our camp or whatever, and I've got this. I don't know. It's probably like a foot long or whatever, flying, clockwork dragonfly. It's got like 2 sets of wings that beat independently of each other and everything. And I'm like showing it off to Marin because I'm absolutely convinced that they care about these things. I don't know where I got that impression. And I'm like, well, you can see here, it's in its belly, it's got this reflective crystal lens, and that is going to detect the differences in the coloration of the ground. And when there's something moving in a straight line, it's going to take notice, and then that will trip this in a switch, and it will turn around and return to us.
What if it sees a
Okay.
shadow moving in a straight line?
Well, then I suppose we'll be jumping in shadows for a bit. But I think I've calibrated it properly to only find the items as large as a horse and rider or larger. A caravan is most certainly going to be picked up on this system. The only thing I'd really worried about is maybe some migrating deer, some such.
Something like what?
Migrating deer.
No. Well, we can totally test it.
So how does Marin respond to Appaloosa being all like technical?
Like this.
Let's see, what is that? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Like runs.
Well, there you
so-
go. You put it all to work, and then you get that Appaloosa.
Yeah. She's satisfied. That was a non brush off, at least to her mind.
Yeah.
she's
Certainly,
she's used to people making her shut up.
Her to get out.
She's used to people telling her to shut up when she goes on these rants, way sooner than that. So yeah, she's totally she's totally fine, and happy with the fact that you actually responded at all. So yeah.
Just
So
imagine Appaloosa doing like a little dance when she gets out of away from Marin, and Marin was interested.
yeah, totally. No one's ever interested in all of her weird technical mumbo jumbo, and no one can follow it. Even really good scientists and mechanical engineers are like, okay, so you remember step 3? You started talking about things that are not actually technology or science or physically possible. You know?
Cool.
And so she'll wind it up. There's a giant key that goes in its back, and then it starts doing its wing thing, and it flies away.
Okay, cool.
And it'll come back before it winds down.
Sure. So, the field of 2 trees is a big field, and at the edges there's rows of trees. There's a little abandoned farmhouse at the edge of the field. Seems like somebody hasn't lived there in decades. Roofs falling apart, kind of thing. And in the middle of the field are 2 trees. They're very, very peculiar because they're entirely white. They're all dead. There's no leaf growing on them. And would anybody who is not folk or partially folk give me a will roll?
Sure.
I have will. That is a skill.
Good job.
Boop. Twa.
Okay. You get a little bit of an uneasy feeling when you enter this place, like you're not supposed to be here, but other than that, you don't feel anything yet.
Okay.
Was that both?
Reckon I understand where the rumors may have come from.
Well, it's a good thing we are not going to be staying here within these circle of trees. It's my uneasy, you could say.
What are you guys talking about?
Yeah, you when you see that, you see Rick's rummaging through his backpack, and he partially took out his hammock that he was going to set up between the 2 trees. Wait, we're not staying here.
Right.
Well, it's not like I've got the wheelers or nothing and can't stay. It's just that seems like maybe this place is sacred to you folk, and just setting up a little ways down the road might be better. But yeah, totally not intimidated. Really, we couldn't admit to that.
I like this place. It's cool here. Look at the trees. Like there's a nice patch of shade there on the field. Like, why do you want to go like somewhere else?
There's a cool cabin there, but I'm sure is has nothing weird about it.
Sure.
but I guess I mean.
Well, we might want to take a look at the cabin first, just in case.
Yeah. All right. Let's go check out this cabin. Cabin. Wow. I know how to talk good.
I'll hop on my ostrich and lead the way.
Okay. The cabin is falling apart. You can tell it used to be an old farm. It has like a small shed. Not a very big place, but nobody's been there for years. Do you go inside?
Yeah.
If it looks like it's not going to break down anytime, while I'm in there.
It looks like it might break down anytime while you're in there.
Yeah, I'll make a point of not touching anything, but I'll go in.
I think Appaloosa will stay outside because the less of us that are in there, when it crumbles to the ground, the better.
Duke, I will totally offer you a fate point for just the fact that you walk in there just disintegrates the house.
Oh man. No, I think that it's worth a fate point to not do that.
Yeah. Up to you.
I mean,
my NPCs wouldn't mind the extra warning.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so you totally hold in, your powers close to yourself and very carefully tread inside. You hear the boards like creaking, and you touch a chair and it just like falls apart, and you're like, oh, I shouldn't do that again.
Oh yeah, wasn't gonna touch it.
The house seems to be empty.
Oh no.
I'll look for a.
Oh okay.
If you want to do something, go ahead.
Oh no, it just seemed like you guys had cut out for a second, and I'm glad that is not the case.
Oh dear. We're still here.
Okay, good.
The house seems empty. Empty enough to you.
I'm going to look for some sort of a table with some drawers or something, and check if there's some notes around or books or something written basically.
Sure. Give me an athletics. Not destroy anything visible about the house.
Oh yeah, I forgot I can roll
Push the
from
button.
yeah.
I didn't think that will cut it.
I destroy a hefty amount of stuff, I guess.
I imagine anybody with mediocre skills would, yeah, totally. So what you
gross.
destroy is
What you were looking for.
sure. You don't find anything interesting in the house. There was this piece of paper, and then you touch it, and it just falls apart.
Yeah, without touching around, only by looking for signs of something that's out of the ordinary. I would like to investigate the place
Sure.
as much as I can from just looking around.
Knock yourself out.
Appaloosa is
ancestors, speak to me through time and space.
Yeah, and Appaloosa is outside keeping watch and making sure no one is sneaking up on us while this is all going on.
So you don't find anything particularly ominous. You manage to find a trapdoor to a cellar where that you might use to your advantage, since it's not made of wood, it's in the earth, so it would hold fairly well.
What would hold?
The cellar, if Duke went in.
Oh.
You can use it to your advantage or not. It's just like one of those one of those outside of the house where you have the two like.
Oh, so it's outside.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough. I'll listen. I'll put my ear on the door and try to see if I hear something. Maybe running water, or mice or people or something.
It's very quiet. You occasionally hear a cricket, but that's probably from the field and not the cellar.
Yeah. Worth a try.
Is it locked?
If it had a lock, you could probably look at it and it would disintegrate. You'd have to put a lot of effort into not entirely destroying the doors when you open them. If you want them to not be destroyed.
So, Rixlax, I'd be happy to go in first if you do the honors.
Well, I don't mind going in. The question is if we really want to. I mean, if we want to do it, why not do it after our mission, I guess? Because we're doing this thing where we get distracted all the time, and we don't get the job done.
Just thinking it might be relevant.
What?
I was just thinking it might be relevant, whatever we find there.
Fair enough. I'll just reach for the door and try to open it.
Okay.
Not destroy it, I guess.
So you open the door, and what you find is just an empty cellar. There's some dried out bottles and kegs and whatnot.
Everything is empty.
Yeah, I mean, some of them have dust in them. You imagine that at some point, some of the barrels held some beans or whatever.
What does it smell like?
Dust and abandoned places. Probably a little, moldy.
Well, that's that.
I suppose.
So, shall we set up the blind down the road?
Yeah, sounds like a good idea. I'm thinking about what we can actually do to prepare for the whole thing, but we don't have any information about it, so I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, unless we come up with something, Duke is just planning to walk up to the caravan as it goes by and just, talk to them. Which may be the exact worst thing to do, so... So I'm just saying.
Yeah, you probably don't want to do that. I mean, did Duke say that to us? Are we sitting around discussing this plan once we got the blind set up and everything?
I'm bringing it up if we're not.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like he's unwilling to talk about it, but I don't think he'd specifically mention, "Oh, I'm going to do what the straightforward thing that I would always do."
Right. So yeah. How do you bring that up?
Well, I'm guessing that we've put this and that there and here and there, and at some point I would just sit on a I don't know, a stump or just the ground and just say, so what's the plan?
Well, it seems to me if you give folks a chance to jaw a bit, they loosen up and you can suss out what's going on. That's all I was planning to do.
And on the off chance that doesn't work?
Well, there's always the hard way. I mean, do we even know for sure that Braden wants to be with these people?
I guess we don't. I mean, he's being transported, but it doesn't.
We can think. I think yes, probably, because when I talked about helping Brandon, I was directed here, and so I guess that's more reasonable to say, to at least suspect that he wants to be with them.
All right.
From the information I got, it's no guarantee.
Well, actually, this cabin thing gave me an idea. What if you keep saying you're there to help? Was it Brandon or Braden or
Either.
Brandon, whatever. And you offer us three or just part of us as proof of your loyalty. You caught several wardens or a few wardens, and when Brad's constricted, he can do to the caravan what he didn't do to the cabin. And I don't know, go from there. Or but again, we don't know how many people they are.
True.
And if just blasting them won't work. It's just an idea. But I don't think us walking up to them and saying, "Hey, can you give us that guy?" would work.
I reckon not.
We have to offer them something they want to have some sort of leverage, or to be interesting at all to them.
Well,
I
thing
don't
is,
know nothing about nothing. I'm not sure what we could offer them.
yeah, if we offer them ourselves, I'm not saying that I'm necessarily against that plan, but if that's what we do, then it sounds like eventually it's going to come down to violence. I mean,
I think
I don't plan to spend the rest of my life in this fort. Sorry, go ahead.
you should have the backup plan in mind. That if we are not able to disrupt them while they are transportating, even though we might be quite strong, they might be stronger, or we might we might not have the right timing, or we might miss them. I think it's paramount that still shall infiltrate them and keep a status that still enables me to do so.
You guys, while you're talking, you hear a humming sound.
Sounds like-
Appaloosa, your dragonfly returns.
Oh, okay.
Sounds like
Yeah.
push is coming to shove.
Now this can lead us back to what I found, but now remember, it's possible we're just gonna find some wild animals. But I agree, we should get this plan locked down before we leave.
Is the humming coming from the device?
Yeah.
Oh.
It was the device.
Oh, I thought we had a few dates.
Maybe we do and maybe we don't. We definitely should check this out. Well, I'm gonna saddle up.
Okay. So this is something that Duke wouldn't put forward again because he wouldn't want Marin to go into danger first. But perhaps she could join them, then lead some of them off, then with some of their numbers distracted, we could just kind of go in and grab the guy.
I feel like Miriam was trying to suggest that very subtly. Maybe someone should suggest it not so subtly, and it's certainly not Appaloosa because I don't think that would have.
Maybe Marin, when the thing arrives, Marin can say, "Just follow my lead," and then explain to the characters what happens, but we won't know what happens.
Just like go in and
I mean, if
lead
there's no
them
time.
off. So Appaloosa, you ride out.
Yeah.
And you hear.
Are they coming with me?
Yeah.
Is anybody coming with?
Yeah, but I'm trying to be stealthy on my ostrich. It's a very stealthy bird.
So
Right.
You move past some of the trees and you hear a thundering of hooves. And your device warned you for a herd of buffaloes.
Of course. Yeah, so I guess I'll get out of their way. And being mounted is probably an advantage for that.
I imagine knowing that they're there, yeah. I imagine they would be heading right for your camp though. That would be inconvenient, but they might.
Ooh.
Why did we set up on the Buffalo Highway?
Yeah. Well, I don't think any of us have what's that skill? Survival? Yeah.
I think one of you has it at least.
That's survival.
Have a point in survival?
I mean, I would think that he would have noticed if we were right along the Buffalo Superhighway.
Apparently not.
Maybe it's unusual that they pass through here.
Okay.
Did it seem like they're running from something, or just being buffaloes?
Go ahead and empathy them.
I totally know buffalo habits and stuff, so.
Okay. We're actually good at empathy.
Yeah. I have buffalo wise.
Yeah, so you can totally tell that they don't usually take this path, and they seem to be startled by something.
Yeah, any of y'all know anything about rustling cattle? We might be able to redirect this train away from our camp.
I've tried my hand from time to time. I'll see what I can do.
I got an idea, but if whatever startled them is what we're looking for, I don't want to turn this bozo into party mode. I'm sure as shit that's gonna scare the buffalo, but might draw some untoward attention.
Well, is there... I mean, if they go through our camp, did we really bring that much stuff when we put, clothes?
Well, you have the little hideout that Appaloosa made.
Oh, right.
So yeah, I'll try and divert them without like making a mess.
Sure. You're gonna try not to slaughter them?
Correct.
Okay, how do you go about that?
Oh, just on Star trying to like right along the side and edge in carefully.
Okay, sure. I imagine that'd be a combination of tactical skills, like trying to figure out how and where to move them, and the physical control of your how much pressure you put that you don't like push one over and then they fall under the hooves of the others. And so go ahead and give me something schemy and something physique.
Okay. So how about survival and physique?
Sure, that works.
Makes sense to me.
Okay. First survival. Not awesome. Could be worse, I suppose. And so do I need to resolve that before I move on to physique, or?
Just do the physique first, and then we'll talk about what happens, and you
Okay.
can decide whether you want to spend fate points and stuff.
Oh,
Ouch.
Right.
Yeah, that is not looking good. You know what?
yeah. Well,
I'll let you succeed at the severe cost if you would like.
I don't know. I'm thinking that the severe cost will be worse than having our camp trampled over by buffalo.
I don't know. I mean, Appaloosa's machine is there. Or her hideout that she built. She spent a lot of work on that.
And
So the cost would be that you take 2 shifts of damage that continue on through the scene. Because what you do is like you just would physically use your body as a ramp for the buffalo
okay.
to run over.
Yeah. Sure. I'd be fine with that.
Okay.
I mean, if we have the time, she can always try to rebuild what she built, or salvage it. But we don't know how much time we have.
You don't know how much time you have.
And I'm sure if we decide to lose the hideout, we won't have enough time.
You might not.
could we take
sure.
a quick break while we figure this out?
We can do a quick break.
Sure.
Fantastic.